Dear Sagittarius, have you been feeling something soft, yet strangely unsettling lately? Like a warm breeze passing by for just a moment, and then disappearing, leaving behind a small emptiness you can't quite explain. You're still smiling, still strong, still independent the way Sagittarius always lives, but deep inside, there are moments when you suddenly slow down, as if your soul is trying to warn you about something your mind hasn't fully grasped. Sagittarius has a special sense for truth. You can feel inauthenticity before it shows. You can see darkness in places others call light. And, lately, that sense of yours has been speaking louder and louder. An unusual silence. A compliment that doesn't feel sincere. A glance that makes your spine tighten just a little. A conversation that leaves you feeling tired in a way you don't understand. God is trying to whisper a message you've sensed for a long time, but haven't dared to look at directly. Someone very close to you, closer than you would ever expect, is jealous of your success, your energy, and your freedom. Not jealousy in the obvious way. Not competition you can easily detect, but a hidden envy, disguised as care, concern, or even love. They know you're strong. They know you're proud. They know no one can ever control your life. And because of that, they choose to sabotage quietly through gentle but intentional words. Through small actions you once thought were harmless, through making you question your own intuition, even though it is the greatest gift God has given Sagittarius. But you're not mistaken. You're not imagining it. You're not overreacting. Now, pour yourself a warm cup of tea or your favorite coffee. Sit down for a moment. We're about to begin a long story. A story only Sagittarius souls, sensitive to truth and protected by God, are meant to hear all the way to the end. Partvianas, a warning from God. Sagittarius is being quietly sabotaged by someone very close. Dear Sagittarius, have you ever had days when nothing specific happened, yet your heart felt a faint, almost invisible uneasiness, like a thin scratch across the surface of a mirror? A feeling that something is happening behind your back, but everything is too quiet for you to point at it and say, this is it. Sagittarius is the sign of intuition. You don't need anyone to tell you. You simply feel. You don't need proof. The moment a frequency shifts even slightly, you know something is not clean, not real, not right. And lately, that inner sense has been whispering non-stop, almost like God tugging gently at your sleeve, saying, pay attention. Something is not normal within your inner circle. And you know what, Sagittarius? You are one of the signs most vulnerable to being hurt by the people you trust. You are strong, yes. Independent, yes. Courageous. Absolutely. But your heart is incredibly open. You want to believe in goodness. You want to believe that people come to you with pure intentions. You want to believe that sincerity will always be met with sincerity. That purity makes you the flame in the darkness, warm, bright, full of hope. But fire attracts both hands that want warmth and hands that want to extinguish it. The one sabotaging you is not a stranger, not an obvious enemy, not someone you're guarding yourself against. It's someone you never questioned, someone you trusted, someone who once made you laugh, someone who knows exactly how hard you've worked to stand where you stand today. And because they know your journey, because they know the softest parts of you, the places where you can be hurt the most, they tear you down in the most subtle ways. With words that corrode your confidence, with comparisons that make you feel not enough, with belittlement hidden behind laughter, with betrayal everyone sees except you. Sagittarius, Have you noticed you laugh less lately? Feel less light-hearted? Trust your intuition less than you used to? That is the sign. Your fire is being quietly pressed down by someone's jealousy. Your freedom bothers them. Your truth hurts them. Your boldness makes them feel small. And instead of rising to meet their own shadows, they choose to drag you down so they can feel more comfortable standing beside you. Sagittarius is the sign of truth. And here is the truth you must see right now. Not everyone who smiles at you wants you to rise. Not every piece of advice comes from kindness. Not everyone close is truly with you. God is placing a mirror in front of you not to scare you, but to awaken you. You're about to enter a season of expansion, a path only the strongest souls can walk. And before God hands you the next doorway, He wants you to clearly see who is blocking you, who is clinging to you, and who is silently draining your energy. If your heart is vibrating even just a little, that is the signal. You don't need to understand everything right now. You only need to admit that you feel something off. The moment you acknowledge it, you reclaim your power. If you see yourself in these words, leave a short comment. I see the warning. Not just to help the video reach others, but as a confirmation between you and God that you are ready to see the truth. And don't forget to subscribe, because the next part will reveal clearer signs that once you see them, you won't be able to unsee. Now, grab a cup of your favorite tea or coffee. Sit down gently. We're about to begin a journey of awakening, a journey only a brave Sagittarius soul can stay with until the end. Part 2: signs that someone who pretends to love you is actually jealous of your light. Dear Sagittarius, you are one of the hardest signs to defeat, yet one of the easiest to wound when someone knows how to disguise envy as care. People can fool each other with words, appearances, or attitude. But no one can truly bypass the intuition of a Sagittarius, unless you want to believe them. You always try to see the good in others. You believe in truth, sincerity, and genuine affection. But sometimes, because you believe in the light too much, you don't see the shadows standing right behind you. Those who envy your light never appear as enemies. They come close as concerned friends. They speak softly, kindly, lovingly, sometimes so convincingly that you almost believe they truly want the best for you. But the Sagittarius soul, the soul of truth, always hears what others cannot. And here are the clearest signs to recognize them. They get jealous when you succeed or when your goals are clear. Not everyone can handle the magnitude of Sagittarius. You don't just dream, you do. You don't just talk, you manifest. And that makes small-minded people feel tiny. Have you ever noticed? Whenever you talk proudly about your achievements, their smile fades for just a split second, long enough for you to feel it, but short enough for them to pretend nothing happened. You speak about a new dream, and immediately they answer with warnings. You're aiming too high. Be realistic. Don't fly too far. But Sagittarius was born to fly. How could you survive being chained to the ground? They always say, be realistic, to extinguish your fire. People who dislike you love hiding envy behind the word realistic. But Sagittarius doesn't need reminders to be realistic. You need the freedom to follow your soul's calling. When they say that, they're not trying to protect you. They're trying to keep you small, so you don't surpass them. They make you doubt yourself, even though you're naturally strong. Sagittarius is bold, confident, and decisive. But after spending time with them, you suddenly feel less certain, less joyful, less confident in your own abilities. That's because they know exactly where your old wounds are. They know when you're soft, when you're anxious, when you're vulnerable, and they use those moments gently, subtly, to shake your foundation. They pretend to care, but they actually want you to slow down, One of the most dangerous signs of this type of person is this. They use concern as a tool of manipulation. They say, "Don't work too hard, I worry for you. Slow down a bit, you might burn out. You don't need to push so much." Sounds caring, right? But in truth, they want you to slow down so they can keep up. They don't want you to rise beyond their reach. They're unhappy when you're free, happy, or starting something new. Sagittarius is a nomadic soul. You survive on freedom. But whenever you travel, start a new project, meet new people, plan something big, change your life, you can see it clearly. They're not happy for you. They won't say it. But their eyes fall. Their smile tightens. Their tone shifts. They know that when Sagittarius is free, you become radiant and impossible to control. They poke your old wounds or mistakes. Sagittarius loves truth and they know it. So they weaponize truth against you. They bring up your past mistake. They remind you of the wound you tried to heal. They mention the moment you were most vulnerable, not to help you heal, but to keep you remembering that once you fell. Once you hurt. Once you broke, and they want you to stay beneath them. But Sagittarius does not belong to the past. You belong to the horizon ahead. Your energy makes them uncomfortable. You are the spirit of freedom they want to cage you. You are the light of truth they want you confused. You are the flame of forward movement they want to smother it with doubt. But the fire of Sagittarius cannot be extinguished. Anyone who tries will be left behind when you rise again. Dear Sagittarius, if these signs resonate with your journey, leave a comment. I protect my energy. And don't forget to subscribe, because the next part will reveal exactly who this person is. A friend, a family member, or someone you once loved. Take a deep breath. We still have much to uncover together. Part tries by birth date. Who is the source of toxic energy in Sagittarius life? Dear Sagittarius, this is the part where I want you to truly open your heart and look at your life with the clearest, most honest eyes. God doesn't send you warnings to frighten you. He sends them so you can distinguish who is walking with you toward the light and who is quietly pulling you backward. What's fascinating is that not all Sagittarius signs are affected the same way. Depending on your birth date, your soul frequency, and where you stand on this fiery journey, the toxic energy enters your life from different directions: friends, family, or the heart. Read slowly. Take a deep breath. Pay attention to where your heart reacts. Grup vienas Sagittarius born November 22, November 30. Toxic energy often comes from friends or your social circle. This first group carries the most explosive fire energy. You have a natural charisma, a kind of optimism that makes people admire you and envy you at the same time. You can walk into a room and instantly draw attention without even trying, and that makes you the target in friend groups or social circles. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your light is too bright. For this birth range, toxic energy usually comes from long-term friends, people in your group circle, someone in your community, someone who once walked beside you, but now feels left behind. They envy your natural attractiveness, strong social connection skills, unshakable optimism, broad vision. They can't touch. They can't stand how you rise after every fall. They can't stand how loved you are by others. They can't stand how life keeps opening new doors for you. Dear Sagittarius, if you're born in this period, take a clear, honest look at your friendships. God is giving you the clarity to do so right now. Grup do Sagittarius, born December vienas. December 10. Toxic energy often comes from family or close co-workers. Mid-season Sagittarius individuals carry the strongest inner strength. You grow fast in career, wisdom, and spirituality, and that makes those close to you feel left behind. For this group, toxic energy often comes from family members, relatives, long-term co-workers, sometimes even mentors or people who once supported you. These people don't necessarily hate you, but they fear your growth. They fear you rising too far. They fear you outgrowing their influence. They fear you becoming someone they can no longer keep up with. Knowing Sagittarius is independent, they try to keep you close by, restricting you, imposing their opinions, giving realistic advice that actually limits you, making you feel guilty for growing too fast. Their energy often shows up as subtle control, soft, quiet, but strong enough to slow you down. If you're born in this period, pay attention to those who always want to guide you, but leave you feeling smaller, heavier, or drained. Group 3 Sagittarius, born December 11. December 21. Toxic energy often comes from a romantic partner or a deep emotional connection. The last group carries the strongest spiritual energy, the deepest heart, and the most intense capacity to love. When you love with everything, with fire, with soul, with unfiltered sincerity. And that intensity makes you vulnerable to the one you give your heart to. For this group, toxic energy often comes from your current partner, an ex, an unresolved deep connection, someone you gave too much emotion to but didn't receive equally. These people usually carry fears like fear of Sagittarius being too free, fear of you becoming too radiant, fear you'll meet someone better, fear you'll rise and leave them behind. They feel small next to your personal growth, your spiritual wisdom, your ability to transform your life. And instead of improving themselves, they try to hold you back with words, with emotions, with memories, with subtle control. If you're born during this period, your heart is the place they try to hold on to, not because they love deeply, but because they fear losing you. Dear Sagittarius, now is the time to look around, not with fear, but with the clarity God is placing into your hands. Leave a comment with your birth date to see which group aligns with your experience. And don't forget to subscribe. The next part will explain why they envy you and what God needs you to awaken to before you enter your next breakthrough. Take a deep breath. We're moving in exactly the right direction. Part 4, Why They Envy Sagittarius. God wants you to understand this truth so you can awaken. Dear Sagittarius, there is a truth God wants you to face today, directly, clearly, without softening it, without telling yourself that everyone is good. Not everyone is good. Not everyone can withstand your light. And certainly not everyone has the strength to stand beside you without feeling wounded by your brilliance. Have you ever wondered why? The more you grow, the more uncomfortable certain people become around you. Or why every time you rise, someone suddenly becomes distant, irritated, or says something that stings your heart, even though it's spoken in a gentle tone. That is not coincidence. That is your energy exposing the smallness they try to hide. It's not that you make them feel small. It's that when they stand next to truth, the false parts of themselves begin to crack. Sagittarius represents the light of truth. When you walk into a room, you don't need to speak for truth to be revealed. Your presence alone makes whatever is not real start to shake. And these are the reasons they envy you. You always move forward while they stay stuck. You never stop. You never stay trapped. No matter how hard life hits you, Sagittarius rises so quickly it shocks people. What they envy isn't just your success. It's your speed. The speed at which you heal, rise, transform, and reinvent yourself. They feel stuck while you keep evolving. You have big vision and big purpose, something they don't possess. Sagittarius doesn't live a small life. You came to this earth to explore, expand, break limits, and open roads. You dream dreams too big to measure. You see futures even in moments when everything seems to be collapsing. People envy you because you dare to dream of things they wouldn't dare imagine. You are real, authentic, unfiltered, something they cannot be. Sagittarius has what many people crave but don't have: authenticity. You're honest without cruelty, truthful without judgment, strong without demanding anyone bow down to you. They don't envy you because you show off, you never do. They envy you because you live honestly, while they wear masks every single day. You are naturally blessed, guided by intuition and God's favor. Sagittarius is the child of divine timing. You trust God, trust the universe, trust yourself, and because of that faith, you are guided. You choose at the right time. You turn in the right direction. You escape disaster just before it strikes. You meet the right people at the right moment. From the outside, they think you're lucky, but they don't see the nights you prayed, the days you pushed through exhaustion, the moments you chose goodness, even when you were hurting. They envy you because your blessings come from faith, not calculation. You have inner strength, optimism, and unwavering belief in life. Have you noticed? When others panic, you stay calm. When others give up, you try one more time. When others see failure, you see a lesson and an open door. Sagittarius's inner strength isn't loud. It doesn't brag, but it makes others feel weaker when they stand beside you. The deepest psychological truth: they don't actually hate you. They hate how small they feel next to you. They hate that. You don't need to compete. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to force yourself to shine. Yet you still win simply by being kind, free, and authentic. They hate that no matter how hard they try, they cannot match the freedom that lives inside you. God wants you to know this so you can awaken. Their jealousy is not a curse. It is evidence of your elevation. It is proof you are walking the right destiny. It is a sign you are stepping into a higher level, a place where dim souls cannot follow. Don't be sad. Don't ask yourself what you did wrong. Don't shrink your light to make others comfortable. You weren't born to be acceptable. You were born to open paths. Dear Sagittarius, if this truth resonates with your journey, leave a comment. Envy is a confirmation of my power. And don't forget to subscribe. The next part will guide you through protecting your energy, the very preparation God is giving you before your biggest breakthrough of the year. Sit tight. You're about to understand something your soul has been trying to tell you for a long time. Part Penki, God wants you to protect yourself. How Sagittarius can immediately block the person who's secretly sabotaging you. Dear Sagittarius, if you've made it this far, you're probably beginning to see the signals your soul has been trying to warn you about. It's not because you're weak that you got hurt. It's not because you're naive that you were deceived. It's because the Sagittarius heart is too open, too sincere, too trusting in goodness. So much so that you never imagined someone you once loved, laughed with, or trusted could become the source of toxic energy quietly draining you. But today, God wants you to understand this. You cannot control people's hearts, but you can control who gets access to yours. What you're about to read is not meant to make you angry. It is meant to help you reclaim the power you unknowingly let someone else hold. You are fire. You are freedom. You are the light of truth. And God does not want that flame dimmed by hands unworthy of touching it. Remember every part of this section. It will change your path from this moment forward. 1. Share fewer major plans. Sagittarius tends to speak too soon, and it invites interference. Do you know why Sagittarius often faces setbacks? Because you get excited and you talk too fast. A new idea? You say it out loud. A new direction? You share it instantly. A spark of inspiration? You tell someone immediately. But not everyone wants to see you succeed. Some people stay close just to watch where you fall. God wants you to shift this habit. Keep your important plans quiet until they're strong enough not to be sabotaged. Don't give anyone the chance to plant doubt in your mind. Don't give them the power to slow you down with their opinions. Let your results speak for you. 2. Practice strategic silence to protect your path from interference. Sagittarius treasures freedom of expression, but sometimes silence is your greatest weapon. Strategic silence doesn't mean withdrawing. It means not over-explaining, not defending yourself, not reacting, not revealing your thoughts. You stay silent to keep your soul steady. You stay silent so your weaknesses cannot be used against you. You stay silent to protect the truth you're walking toward. People with bad intentions hate Sagittarius's silence, because when you go quiet, they lose control. 3. Stop letting them weigh you down with judgment. Sagittarius is brave, yet strangely sensitive to criticism from those you once trusted. They say little things like, "Are you sure you can handle that? Aren't you dreaming too big? I'm just being honest." Don't be upset. But those just being honest comments are daggers to a Sagittarius soul. God wants you to recognize this. Their judgments are not truth. They are reflections of their limits, not yours. Whenever someone makes you doubt yourself, ask, does this comment describe me or their fear? This one question reveals who stands in the light and who stands in the shadow. 4. Withdraw their access to your emotions. Sagittarius feels deeply. You're strong, but your emotions run deep. And the person sabotaging you knows this. They poke your feelings to pull you down, hold you back, make you doubt yourself, make you feel like you need to prove something. Starting today, reclaim that access. Quietly, wisely, share less personal information. Stop seeking emotional comfort from them. Don't let them near old wounds. You're healing. Don't react to their pokes or provocations. This isn't coldness. This is maturity. 5. Use the fire shield. Surround yourself with purple or golden light. Sagittarius is the fire sign of faith. Your strongest protection comes from spiritual light. Sit still for a minute. Take a deep breath and imagine a circle of radiant purple or warm golden light surrounding you, a halo of truth and freedom. This light is your spiritual armor. No one can break through it. No one can extinguish your fire. Whenever you feel dark energy approaching, close your eyes and say, God, protect me from anything that is not meant for me. And instantly you'll feel your mind lighten, your heart warm, your fire grow brighter. That is the divine power you were born with. Final message for Sagittarius. You do not need their approval. You do not need their praise. You do not need their half-hearted affection. God is clearing your path so you can rise to a new level. Freer, stronger, wiser, brighter. And when you rise into this new level, even more people will feel uncomfortable with your light. Do not fear this. It means you are leveling up. Strong fire always intimidates weak spirits. But Sagittarius was not born to fear. You were born to lead. If you are ready to stand in the power God gave you, comment, I'm ready to protect my destiny. And don't forget to subscribe. Your path-breaking season has only just begun. And God has many more signs to reveal to you. Dear Sagittarius, if you're here, all the way to the final moments of this video, It means your soul is truly ready to step into an entirely new chapter 1, where no one is allowed to touch your flame in a way that drains you or confuses you anymore. Today's message isn't just a warning from God. It is a map guiding you back to the true essence of Sagittarius. Strong, free, honest, and protected by an unshakable inner faith. The most important things you can carry with you after this video are the lessons you can apply immediately in your daily life. Don't reveal important plans too early, because not everyone who listens to you wants to see you succeed. Practice strategic silence when needed, so no one can distort your clarity. Don't let judgment wound you because it reflects their fear, not your worth. Use your energy shield every day. Pray and protect your mind from hidden intentions. And above all, trust your intuition, because that is the voice God placed inside your heart to guide you. If this message resonates with your journey, leave a comment saying, "I'm ready to protect my destiny." This is your affirmation that you have stepped into your rightful power. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so the next messages can reach you exactly when you need them most. Sagittarius, hold this truth close as a personal affirmation. You are protected. You are guided. And your life is unfolding exactly according to the divine script God has written for you. Thank you for being here today. I'll see you in the next video, where new doors will continue to open for a Sagittarius who is awakening, just like you.